Uh, here we go. It's in the holder. All right. Hopefully that'll be what we need it to be. Put this in its case. I'm hoping, based off of all of my stuff, that we got enough microphone, and we'll see. All right. Better start with our. All right. Over to YouTube. We'll monitor that. Nope, we're not getting any comments there. All right, YouTube. There we go. Should say we're live. We are live. We are live. We got sound? We got sound? Yep, we have sound. Welcome to tonight's podcast. All right, let me quick do this. Welcome to tonight's podcast on the Cinco de Mayo. Let us know what you're sipping on and where you're from. And super chats will be greatly appreciated. Send. All right, I got that set up. Now I got to be in between both that and that. I got that set up right where it's supposed to go. This goes off now. All right. I'm going to need these. Douglas, all right. We got that. We'll pull a second one out. It should be working, right? It sure is. I'll get this out of the way. All right. We got that. We got that. Let's put this out of the way. What do we got? I don't want that my mouse there. Let's put that mouse out of the way. All right. So looking forward to Douglas French coming on, but also tonight is Whiskey Without Borders, and we are doing this Sierra Norte Mexican whiskey in honor of Cinco de Mayo. This is a corn whiskey, so that's great. But first off, let's just quick whip off our sponsors. We got Whiskey Thief Distilling Company in Frankfurt. We got Whiskey Thief Distilling Company in Frankfurt, Kentucky, also in the New Lou area and Louisville. They just opened up their tasting room about a year and a half ago, but each place has a great experience. There's 5 barrels to choose from. They will, for the price of admission, they will thief you samples from each barrel. Then afterwards, you can decide which one you like, and you can thief your own bottle, whether it be a 375 or a 750, either or, you walk out with a barrel pick. It's a barrel pick every day, all day. The people, the staff, the ownership, everything's fantastic. It's a great experience. Make sure you check out Whiskey Thief Distilling Company in Frankfurt and Louisville. Middle West Spirits. I was just at the Ohio Craft Distillery. All right, let's just do this. The Buckeye Lake Winery and Distillery Whiskey Festival. I saw Steve there, and we talked, and we're going to get down to Middle West Spirits. But they are doing some fantastic things at their new 72,000 square foot facility. You got to check them out. They're right now, although that facility isn't open for tours and tastings yet, their original craft distillery is. And they also have a fantastic restaurant, the Service Bar restaurant attached. But the Mike Alone brand of bourbons and their pumpernickel rye and their wheat whiskey are all available on the shelf, 48 states. You go there, it's there, all reasonably priced, and it's cast strength, and it's fantastic. And you gotta pick up one. It is 100% a really worth your effort bourbon or wheat whiskey or rye. So check out Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio. The Spirit of French Lick is still there. They are the Spirit of French Lick Winery and Distillery, and their stuff is still there. Alan Bishop used to be the master distiller, but he is no longer. But all of his whiskey's there, and he has the Maddie Gladden line, the Lee W. Sinclair line, the this is the Lillian Sinclair, and then also their William Dalton weeded bourbon, all fantastic bourbons, along with their Solomon Scott rye. You got to check them out. If you're in the French Lick area, stop in at the winery and the distillery. Tell them the Scotchy Bourbon Boys sent you, and let's get things. Make sure you get things rolling. All right, and then. Also, hey, Randy, if you have Ghosts, You Have Everything is Alan Bishop's podcast. You got to make sure you check it out. It combines the best of both the spirits world and the spirits industry in one for a fantastic podcast. And then also, he runs the YouTube channel, One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute. You got to make sure you check that out. If you have any questions on home distilling, commercial distilling, fermentation, maturation, Alan's got your answers. If he doesn't tell you, ask the question, comment, and there'll be a future episode about your, uh, about your question. So check out If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything, and Alan Bishop's If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything, and One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube. All right, so I got the sponsors covered. I got the whiskey up. We'll wait to get started. Everything's done. Got my monologue.
Are we on yet?
Yeah, we are on. No, I'm not just I'm not just doing my I always go on early, Randy, because I want to get in the sponsorship before the guest.
Gotcha.
Can't really do the sponsorships before the guests come on, right?
Sounds good. Yeah, they should both be coming on here in the next 15 minutes or less.
Okay. Yep. We'll wait. I'm kind of excited. It should be a good one. It's Cinco de Mayo.
It's certainly good whiskey, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how I can get this bottle up to where it can be seen.
Well, you
Think
could,
it's got it.
I got you.
Yeah.
You definitely are. I will say, based off what's behind you, you definitely are a whiskey doctor.
Sounds like somebody's coming in.
Nobody's coming in. That was Facebook.
Okay.
Can you monitor? Are you on your phone or your computer?
I'm on my computer, but I can have my phone on too if I need to.
Monitor the comments on Facebook because I can't do it. I could monitor the comments on YouTube. We got Kirk on. He went to the top shelf on. No, you all right, Kirk. Oh wow, that's the first top shelf that we've had on YouTube. Kirk, man, 40. Oh my gosh, 406 bourbon barrels. 406 bourbon barrels. Thank you for all your support. You're gonna make now. I gotta send out merchandise. Yeah, that's very nice. Tell all your friends. That's also the good thing too. Tonight, we're waiting for our guests. They should be in. We will start at 8:30. We might give it a little earlier start. Who knows? If they get on early enough and everything's working right, we might just start a little early tonight. But it's always kind of like when you schedule something to start, you don't always want to start early, right?
Right. You hear me okay?
Oh, I hear you fine.
Okay, let me blow this up so I can see better. I didn't have it blown up on my screen. There we go.
Yep, 406 bourbon barrels. Kirk, thank you so much.
Kirk, did you see the picture I just sent you?
We gotta wait. It's a little bit delayed on YouTube.
Yeah, you can be like the Jay Leno of whiskey. You can come on every night.
Who?
You,
Every,
you can be the Johnny Carson of
yeah,
whiskey,
no,
and I'll be the Ed McMahon.
no, okay, but that's a little bit, what would you say? Yeah,
Old school.
we'll get a studio and and then we'll both live in it. That's when we're not working. Do you know what kind of time those people had to put in to do those shows?
Oh yeah,
It was crazy.
crazy.
I can't wait tonight. We had a lot of people looking. So he says, oh, he said he upgraded membership to top shelf. There we go. I didn't know you could just do that on the. Maybe anybody else want to do that too? Come on. I challenge anybody. He's a member. Man, the membership right there is that's awesome. That is a monthly membership, and there's some stuff involved with that. There is some stuff involved with that. I'll have to get that out to you. I'll have to get Kirk when I'm talking to you. I'll have to get your. What did Rachel just say?
I'll send it.
The baby was just born.
Oh, good for her.
I don't got my thing. Oh, but I can love it. Here we go. How do I? Oh my gosh! I gotta go over here and hit return. I gotta get the keyboard. There.
Bob asked me if I sent Doug the link, and I told him yes.
Where did he
And he
ask?
said he got it.
Okay. Yeah, we're not. It's 8:08. I mean,
Yeah, well, it's still early compared to what we told him.
so okay. So are we operating tonight? Are we operating tonight? Because the whiskey doctor is in his sterile environment right there, man. I don't think it gets any steriler than that.
I actually just took my scrub top off.
I mean, yeah, there you go. You gotta get some. Pictures on the wall.
Well, I'm waiting on my wife to get here.
Yeah, that also is a good idea.
We're moving up.
Is
This
John
weekend.
is John Ridd on
I did not see him on yet.
or Walker?
Oh, Walker won't be. It's just now 5 o'clock at where Walker is. He's probably still at work.
Walker usually.
I figure he'll be on in another half hour to an hour.
Walker will chime in and say he's on his way to work right off the bat.
Right.
So we're getting going. Randy's, he said, yes, I got your pictures. Red Hot
Yeah,
Liquor
he clicked on
Southern
like
Star.
He clicked on like an image, so yeah. And he's typing.
Yep, there we go. So we're ready to go here.
I am not seeing anybody else responding on Facebook yet, but let me get.
I mean, we are early. I'm
Yeah,
usually.
we're way early for most people.
Okay. Well, Kirk responded on Facebook.
Yeah,
He says he thinks I need to go on.
yeah, that's been there for 10 minutes. That's why I was telling you.
Oh, that's why you said it. I didn't get that one.
Yeah.
I'm getting Kirk on YouTube, so he's watching us multi-view. So that's happening, but this is also going to be cool. This is I didn't try it today. Did you try it since you opened it yesterday?
I opened it Sunday. I tried it. Had a little bit yesterday. Have not tried it again today yet.
Okay. Yeah. It should be pretty cool tonight. Once we get everybody in. We had one person, we had Kirk waiting, so he knew it was coming on. I got
Hello there. How are you, sir? Doug, how are you?
Hi, fine. How are you guys?
Great. Good to have you on. I'm Randy. I go by Whiskey Doc. The good looking one up there, or the big one up there, is Tiny.
The
Jeff,
big one's tiny and the good looking one's right there.
the good looking ones aren't they? You're right. One of them's delivering a baby, and the other one's in a movie with her mom.
I need to try and coordinate my speakers with this so I can hear better.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to do it. I haven't done it in a long time.
Tiny, is my volume higher to you than his?
It's well, his is yours is echoing in an empty room, and his sounds like he's using a microphone in it's not higher, and you're just echoing more.
Okay, well, I can fix that. Let's do that like.
Okay, well, I'm a little bit deaf, so that's why I try and put a speaker on to help me out with these.
Yes, sir.
Well, we can hear you. So usually if you want to, you know where to go for your mic. It's where your microphone is. There's a little arrow next to it at the bottom. In mine, it's the bottom left, but I don't know where it is for you, Randy. And if you click on that, it gives you your speakers and your microphone so you can control them.
Okay, is my audio coming in okay?
Your audio's coming in clear as a bell.
I lost you guys.
Can you hear me? Your microphone is good. We can hear you. He lost his he's got to click on the speaker.
Yeah, you can hear mine now, right? It's still echoing, but I switched back because I was trying on my phone, but there's about a 10-second delay between Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'm just switching over to here. Let's see if there's a different microphone that I can pick.
No, your microphone's
I've lost the visuals and the audio.
We didn't lose you. Can you hear us?
Doug, can you hear us?
He can't. A lot of times, well, hopefully, who's the other person? What's his name?
Bob.
When Bob comes in, he can help him a little bit. We can see him and hear him.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just told Bob that we're all live, so hopefully he will be here any second.
Okay.
I just got visuals back,
Yeah, we can hear you now too.
but I don't have any audio.
Okay. You can't hear us. So he's got to find out where to get us. Well,
Bob just said he's trying to get on.
okay. Let me see.
Type type him a message in the chat to, well, he'll have to go into his system for his speakers. In his settings.
Do you see the chat? I don't see the chat.
Yeah.
Can you?
Right to the right of participants.
There it is.
Let me go get my keyboard.
I just got audio back.
You got it?
Okay.
You can hear us?
Yeah, not on the speakers, but I can hear you on the computer.
Okay.
Okay, we hear you fine.
Yeah, we could always hear and see you.
Oh, okay. It's been changing. The screen's been changing and disappearing and going on where.
I understand.
And why back? I don't know.
All right. Chat. Okay. Bob is trying to come in, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Having trouble with the audio?
No, we are not having any trouble. You sound perfect. Everything's, and we could, oh, you mean Bob? I think Bob's having trouble all the way around if he said he's trying to come in because he's not even, hitting the, because I can, oh, there he is. He's trying to come in. All right. There we go. He's coming in.
How's it going, guys? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Fine, Bob.
Cool.
We don't see you.
Yeah, I don't understand. My laptop hasn't been working with Zoom for some reason. And here it's not allowing me to do video.
So is Zoom because you would go in where the little video camera is and then pick the camera you want to pick.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
We got you.
Yes, that's perfect. Oh, if you we lost.
Just froze for a second, it'll come back.
Hopefully. There. Oh. We're doing all right. We still got 10 minutes before we go live. So that's why we come on a little bit earlier.
That's a good idea.
He's going to come back.
I thought you said we were already live. There you go.
No, we're live on Facebook and YouTube, but we're not live for recording. This is like the pre-podcast. Work out all the details. People hang out with us.
Working out the details right now.
Yeah.
So, how's everyone doing on Cinco de Mayo?
We're doing wonderful.
Good. I told somebody that yesterday was a long week and today was a long week.
So
down here, nobody knows why you're celebrating.
Yeah.
Yesterday was May the 4th be with you, and now it's Cinco de Mayo. We're celebrating because we always need a day to celebrate.
Absolutely.
So do you prefer Douglas or Doug?
It's the same for me.
Okay.
There's about 6 different Spanish translations of it.
All right. Nice to meet you, Bob. I have never met you, but I know that Randy has.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks for helping us set this up and getting us the whiskey. We really appreciate it, especially
You're welcome.
Up here in Ohio. Where is your distribution?
I'm in Florida.
Okay.
So this brand, the Sierra Norte, is one of the brands I carry. The brand owner or brand manager in the U.S. for distribution is Juan Pablo. He's out of Illinois.
Okay.
His company is called Tequila Specialist, or In Agave We Trust.
I think we trust. I like that.
Yeah. And you can find him, and distributors can order from there. You can also order from Doug's website, I'm pretty sure. And if not, you can find it on Mercado de Mezcal and a few other places.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah.
Doug, go ahead, Doug.
Was there a question there?
I was going to say, Doug, I was down in Oaxaca last week with that group. You remember that group we stopped by with last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was down there again with most of those same guys. We stayed out in Mitla, and we did a tour with Anna and Brooks. Anna has that book out,
Yeah.
and we were talking about you, and we were talking about the corn whiskey and which one they liked or which one they preferred. And they were like, the green corn is our favorite, and I'm like, really? Like that's the one you can't get? I'm like, yeah, I know. It's so, whatever. But yeah, they like the green corn. I don't think we tried it when we were there. I'm not sure you had any.
I don't think we had any yet. We've kind of broken through the barrier that the green corn didn't want to grow.
Uh-huh.
One of my farmers asked if he could give it a try, and he did, and he broke the barrier. We got green corn now. So
That's crazy. Does the green corn need more or less water, or what does it really need for doing well in Oaxaca?
Are you an agricultural engineer?
No, but I mean, I've been around a lot of agave, and I've seen some thrive and some die, and a lot tastes good and a lot tastes bad. And I wouldn't say I would know, but I have some ideas. I mean, that's kind of the best I got.
Yeah. It's all more of the same. The land, the terroir, the weather, how much rain, what dates the rain comes in. As corn is very susceptible to the dates. If it misses its watering during the cycle, you've lost your crop, or at least you've lost 60% of it. So
Yeah.
it's all very touchy. Farming's hard,
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
and it's badly paid. So,
That reminds me of the joke I heard one time. A guy down in Mississippi was a farmer and he won the lottery. And they said, "Are you going to keep farming now that you won the lottery?" He said, "I guess I will till the money runs out."
Right.
Yeah.
We're in that position too.
Yep.
Well, I think, yeah, everybody's in that position. One way or another. I mean, some people, the money doesn't run out, so they keep doing it. But yeah. So I just want to go over when we get so right now we're live Facebook and YouTube. So everybody, say hi to everybody. We've got a bunch of people on. We will take Randy. We'll take some questions from Facebook, and I will take questions from YouTube. And we could check stuff out as we go. But we're very interested in distilling in Mexico. And you were talking about farming. A lot, I know that corn is something that is the roots of growing corn they come from Mexico, and so it's part of the culture. But at the same time, uh, how you're going about doing it. We want to get a little bit of your background of how you started, and we want to get a little bit of a background of just the whole distillery itself and its location. So we'll cover that as we go through. When we start, I will. There's about a 45-second spot that we play that you won't be able to hear. It's on the recording for the audio, and then you'll hear our theme song, and then I have an opening monologue tonight for you, to go through, and then I'll introduce you guys. What we normally with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, Randy here goes by the Whiskey Doctor, and he would come on intermittently. And I came up with the idea of doing Whiskey Without Borders. And since he was the whiskey doctor and he wrote, he was writing, he would write critiques and he would also, write about the industry and that type of thing. So, and he was, but as started coming on the podcast and we met him, he's a very interesting person. So we came up with this segment, and he basically once every 2 months, 2 months, will track down some whiskey from somewhere else. Because as the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, we do all whiskeys. So we've done a German rye, we've done the Israeli whiskey, and then this is our first Mexican whiskey, and it made sense to do it on, since we'd go live Tuesdays and Thursdays from at 8:30 all the time, and Cinco de Mayo came on. I really appreciate you guys coming on for that because it all just kind of fits. And I think, Doug, you're the first guest we've ever had that wasn't in the United States. So welcome. And there's first for everything, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
and Walker's on and Martin's on. So our whole crew that normally watches, or a lot of them, are on with us. John Ritt's on. And so
Everybody's
these guys, although they're primarily bourbon folks, they do like all kinds of whiskeys. And we were talking today and even yesterday about how unique this particular whiskey is, and I just love it. There's two or three things about it I think are really special, and I'm glad Bob introduced me to it.
all right. So there we go. I got that going. Everything's going. We got a couple more minutes. I'm ready to go. Both microphones are working. Let's make sure that's left. Right. There we go.
We'll also be on Spotify and several other things that he'll mention besides just Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah,
We
once I do the recording, I'm recording the audio, and that's always the actual podcast. So I try and I'll put that on Spotify, Apple, iHeart. It's on Sirius XM radio. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. So, and then I upload that for audio, but YouTube and Facebook have the video. YouTube will keep the video forever, and Facebook has it for 30 days. So there we go. All right, I think we could get started. I'm going to start the promo. Let me get my. Did we lose it? No. All right, we're still on. Did we lock up? Looks like, hold on. Skip to live. All right, good. Did it not lose it? All right, let's see. This should be working. Let's see. 10-4-2. Okay, it's working. I've got that. All right, here we go.
It's interesting to watch him manipulate all that tech stuff. He looks like a tech genius. The genius is really his son. Which I think we could probably say about a lot of our children. My son knows me.
True in my case.
Yeah.
kids that are 5 to 12, I think they do it better.
Yep.
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we drink every brew, and we talk some shit, but pretend it's true. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raising hell and making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, we're here to have fun, and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun. Yeah, woo!
All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tonight we are leaving the States. Tonight we're crossing borders. Tonight the Scotchy Bourbon Boys are bringing you one of the most unique whiskey experiences we've ever had on the show. We are celebrating Cinco de Mayo. This isn't just whiskey. This is culture, history, agriculture, and distilling all colliding in a glass the way we know how, by bringing in world-class whiskey and world-class guests. Tonight we welcome, of course, this is our Whiskey Without Borders segment. We welcome the whiskey doctor, Randy Ford. Welcome, Randy. And then
Thank you.
also Doug French is the master distiller of Sierra Norte Distillery in Mexico. Welcome, Doug.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Now, Bob, I only know you as Bob, so you can introduce yourself. What is your last name, and what exactly do you do?
So my name is Bob Murphy, and I import and distribute alcohol in Florida. I started off with mezcal and then moved into tequila, and I carry Mexican whiskeys now as well.
That is awesome. I've not up until this point had a Mexican whiskey, so I was excited. I read up a little bit about what Doug is doing, and it's fantastic. But there's a lot of stuff that craft distillers here in the United States do that he does very similar. So that's going to be really cool. And I'm going to say, if you think bourbon and whiskey starts and ends in Kentucky, or it starts and ends in the United States, tonight we're just going to blow your mind. So hang in there, and I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for this. And Randy, I'm going to let you start off because you're the whiskey doctor and you've got questions, and I really think you can take the lead on this to start off tonight.
I really appreciate you guys coming on. The whole industry balances between somebody like me who's a drinker, and you have to go from us to retailers, and the retailers have to have somebody like Bob to get the product to them. And they have to have that relationship, and then they also have to have the relationship with the distillers to be able to arrange that. And so we've got the whole gamut here tonight, and I really do appreciate that. This whiskey comes as one of the first I ever had out of Mexico. I don't think of Mexico as whiskey. I think we all think of it as tequila. And I shared some of this with some friends last night, and they said, I get tequila on the nose. I'm curious, though. We do in the U.S. do some bourbons that are finished in tequila barrels. But did you guys always produce whiskey, or did you start with tequila?
Well, it started with mezcal because I live in Oaxaca, and that's the denomination of origin that we're in. And at one point, I realized that the corn was originated in Oaxaca 7,000 years ago. And that it has an exceptional history that nobody really knows. And a lot of the corns are in danger of extinction. So part of the program was to grow corns and revive as much as we can, so it doesn't go into extinction. And what to do with the corn is make whiskey. What better use can you do?
Absolutely.
They have the market for tacos and tamales and all that already set up and working. So part of our program is a social program to give work, to create new jobs. So people can work here in their homes and in their businesses here and not have to immigrate to the United States to earn a decent living. So we support the farmers and the folks in the distillery so that they can work here in Oaxaca and lead a prosperous life themselves and their family. And
You know, we feel, I'm sorry.
Whiskey's a big part of it now.
We see that in Kentucky too. There's a lot of small towns that basically are alive because of the whiskey business, the bourbon business. They wouldn't be there.
Well,
And I just think that's wonderful.
well, here in Ohio, I just this past weekend, there's a whiskey brand called Black Diamond, and they started at at a college, and they set up a brewery and a distillery there to teach students how to distill and brew. Well, then when you start brewing and distilling, they started producing and it started to catch on, so they started to do more and more. And so then they got together, and the reason why it's called Black Diamond is because Black Diamond's coal, and they go into all the old rundown depressed coal mining towns that almost are non-existent, and they buy up some property, remodel it, whether it be a restaurant, or they bought an old brewery, or they buy an old tavern and they remodel it, restore the building and put it in there, and then start serving the beer and the whiskey. But the people who run it, they sell it back. They sell the it's kind of like they sell the business, which is to the people who are running it, and they use all the people in the town to have the business. So they're proud of what they're doing, and just like that's exactly what you're doing. You have all the workers are local, the corn's being grown local, and everybody has a sense of community, and they're proud of and you get so much better workers that way. Don't you find that?
Yes, I do find that. I have workers that have been with me, my family. My mother started the social program long before me for 50 years ago. And I have a worker that's been with me for 54 years. The one since I moved to Mexico. Workers been there for 26 years, down to the newest workers, probably about 5 years into it. They feel proud. They feel a sense of accomplishment, and so they're happy to do their job, and they're good at it.
I totally agree.
Fisher just jumped in.
Excellent. Doug, how did you when and how did you start Cia Norte? Why, when did it actually begin in your mind?
Okay, well, in 2014, I was trying out different products to distill to supplement our mezcal base because there was a flood of money and distilleries being pushed into the alcohol faster than the sales were building. So I was looking at other things to do, and I distilled some rum and decided no way to make any money on that. And so I went to the whiskey, and that's when I really dug in and saw that the different colors of whiskey, of corn, that were actually a reality down here. And started buying the corn and started experimenting with whiskey. I made 42 recipes before I decided on the final recipe. So it
Now,
took at a time, and in 2016, we actually had brown spirits from the barrel, the whiskey brown spirits, so we could actually start presenting it to the marketplace.
now you brought up an interesting
Where
point.
Bob comes in and his people.
You brought up an interesting point. You said the corns. So you've got many varieties. I noticed this bottle looks like a rainbow. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the different corns that are in this bottle?
Yes, the corns, we found out that depending on the color of the corn, it would give a different flavor. So we started separating out, well, what were standard stuff that you could buy in the market was white and yellow and a little bit of the black. So we started making corn with that, and we started growing to try and build a seed bank. And one of the things that happens with the native corns is you get a cob and it's not all white, it's not all yellow, it's not all red. It's very frequently multicolors. So you have that, we separate by hand as much as we can for a single color and separate in different batches the colors. And after it comes to a point where you can't separate it. So you've got a pile of corn that's got all these colors in it. And we're kind of like, what do we do with this? And we just kind of put it aside for several years, number of years. And then finally I said, well, we've got so much of this, but let's just make a batch and see what happens. So it has basically, 50, 100 different shades of different colors of corn in it. And so, well, what are we gonna call it? I mean, it's like a rainbow, it's got every color in the rainbow in it. So so we called it the rainbow corn.
Okay. I've had your black corn whiskey. I think, Bob, I think I got some of the red corn.
Yeah, so there are a number of other flavors or varietals of corn whiskey. There's a white corn, a yellow corn, a red, a purple, a black, and then the rainbow. And there's also a green that we were talking about before the show kicked off. That is notoriously difficult to grow, but does taste quite good. And it sounds like that Doug's people are working on growing some green corn to make a green corn batch, which would be great.
Now, pardon my ignorance. I come from a family that's farmers, but we never grew corn. One great grandfather grew rice, and then my other grandfather had a dairy farm. But does this corn can be eaten just like corn, prepared and eaten just like corn on the cob could be, correct or no?
Well, corn on a cob is basically a hybrid, a GMO special, so that you have a wonderful, sweet, tender corn. The native corn is a little bit tougher. It's not that soft, and it's not that sweet on your taste. So basically, it's grown to full maturity to where you have the hard kernels. You let the kernels mature. You don't eat it when it's still young, although you can, and they do. it depends, that's what they've got available, and that's what you eat, the esquites and elotes, which is corn on the cob, or the kernels cut off when it's young, and you eat it like that. The rest of it is pretty much all grown to maturity, where it's hard kernels, and then you break it down for that, like into tortillas, into tamales, tostadas, gorditas, all that sort of food. In our case, into a mash. We make a mash out of it and then distill the mash.
So that would be like what we called a feed corn then, maybe like we would have fed the animals.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, or even if you want to come down to seed corn, that's always taken to now. But seed corn is treated differently during the growing process, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
I'm not sure what you mean. When you pick it,
Yeah.
is the difference between a sweet corn that you're going to eat tender and the rest of the corn.
No,
dry.
I was referring to if you're growing corn for seed. There's a little different process of what you do to the corn so that you can replant it.
No.
It's
All
pretty.
we have to do is pick out the biggest, best kernels, and we do that by sifting the corn so that the smaller kernels fall out, and the bigger, healthier kernels are what we use for the seed.
Okay. So what would you say the terroir down in Mexico, opposed to in the United States, like in Kentucky? What would be the main differences to the corn, as far as how the growing seasons and where you're growing it, right now where you're located?
Everything's different about it. The soil, the minerals in the soil. We can only grow during the rainy season because it's a very arid climate here, and there's very little water. There's a scarcity of water, so there's virtually no irrigation possible. And so all the conditions are different for farming than in Kentucky.
So
Now, Doug, when you grow the corn, is the corn grown in rows like what we would expect in the U.S., or is it sort of more wild and it's sort of just free flowing corn that's grown out in fields that are mixed with other things like squash and beans and so forth?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I'm glad you asked it. Traditionally, the corn has been grown with corn, squash, and beans are three things that are grown together with the corn. And each of them has a different nutrients that pulled out or put back into the soil by the plant. So they work together to make a healthy plantation and dirt so that you don't have to use much fertilization, or preferably none, if you can keep your good balance going. And that's what the indigenous people did for so many years. So it's standard to have a crop where they plant in rows. We plant in rows. Everybody plants in rows the corn, and they plant the squash and the with it. The beans will grow up the stalk, so that gives you beans, and they hold the stalks up. The squash has big leaves, so they keep the foliage down so the weeds don't grow too big, and they're all productive. The squash is edible, the beans are edible, and the corn is edible.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of farmers rotate. They'll have rows of agave, rows of corn, rows of squash, and rows of beans. And some take nutrients, and some replace. And I've heard the sort of the Mexican culture refer to the corn, beans, and squash as the Trinity, where it's able to do you don't have to do any soil remediation. the soil sustains itself by growing these three crops in it. It's what's been found historically over time.
That's correct.
And so
And it's worked for years.
so your conditions also, like you were talking about the difficulty of farming, it sounds like it's much more of a challenge than to grow corn than it is to grow corn in the Midwest, based off of you have to know. And then your seasons can't always be consistently the same, right? Some years it's really dry, and others you have a little bit more moisture.
Yeah, that's correct. We had 3 years of drought, and with most of the corn crop was lost. We're on the edge of our seat to see what's going to happen this year.
Do you find that the different colors of corn, well, you said some of them have multiple colors on the same stalk, but do you find that if you get a pure black or a pure purple or a pure red, that they grow better in different conditions, I should say, not climates, but conditions? Like if you have a drier period, do you find that one of the crops will, or one of the varieties will do better than the others? And if you have a wetter, maybe the reverse of that?
Yeah, there's so many different factors and results from that. It's hard to categorize it. I'm not an agriculture engineer, so all this stuff is by the seat of my pants. And one of the things that's a savior for us is that the native corns are a little bit shorter growing period than the GMO corns. So like our neighbors might lose their crop if there's a lack of rain for, 3 or 4 weeks during the season. And our crops will hold on and we'll still get some yield out of it. So everything changes between the types of crop and which of the corns. We're having to revive the corns from extinction, which is a 5-generation process, basically. You got to do it to 5 years before you have established a really solid seed bank. And that's what we've had to do with every single one of the colors.
Our friend Alan Bishop
Is a
is in
distiller.
distilling business, and he was saying on Facebook, he was talking about how the fact that you guys have literally had generations and generations and hundreds of years for these seeds to kind of develop and strengthen themselves and be basically the best they can. And that's a really cool thing. It's the history of Mexican agriculture, corn in particular. It's just phenomenal compared to what we see in our little 250-year-old country.
Well,
like I said, they had corn from 7,000 years ago.
right. And we've been growing corn a little bit longer here, I think, than 250. But yeah,
Native Americans were growing.
yeah. But it whatever. I'm having a problem with the word. It came up naturally from Mexico, correct? I mean, there's even times
Migrated up,
when
yes.
Mexico was part of the United States where they were growing corn here, you know, a long time ago. But now that we've talked about the agriculture, let's talk about what you're distilling on. I mean, what is at your distillery? What size? What kind of still are you using? And what size, and how are you going about it?
It's not polite to ask a man you just met how big his still is. Go on, Bob. Sorry, I had to throw that in.
Oh, no, that's a good one. One thing that Doug has hit on, but his distillery is essentially downtown Oaxaca. So anyone who visits Oaxaca, and there's a lot of tourists that visit, are can reach out to the distillery and contact Doug or his team and get a tour. And the tour is pretty impressive. I believe the factory was originally bought by your mother. Is that right, Doug?
Yeah, that's right. There's a textile business with hand spinning and hand weaving with the Zapotec indigenous people.
And so you can be in this distillery and there's barrels along one wall and there's like textile machines that are super old in another part of the factory, and then a place to have some drinks, and then a bunch of pipes and stills and fermentation tanks, and then some people working, and there are bottling areas. There's a garden outside that has a bunch of agave growing. There's a tasting room, barrel storage room. It's a pretty impressive facility to go check out. It's not it's unique in every way. It's a pretty impressive thing to see.
Well, we built this distillery from scratch with one old small a 60-gallon still and a hole in the ground to cook the agave. And we went from there.
Now, you use a pot still or a column still or combination?
It's all pot still. We use double distilling and pot still. The first distillation is in larger stainless steel vessels. Pot stills are 5,000 liters. And the second distillation is all in copper. And the copper stills are 350 to 500 liter stills.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds.
How much can you produce? I'm sorry, go on.
Go ahead. Go ahead. That's a good question.
How much can you guys produce in a year? What's your capacity?
The maximum capacity that we've hit, or the actual maximum production that we've actually done, is 100,000 liters in 1 year. That's what, 9,000 cases. And I wish the market would revive and we'd get back to that.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so you distill on now. One thing being able to distill the mezcal, you basically do. You don't have now. Are you doing any aging in barrels of your mezcal? I mean, some people do that, or are you doing it pretty much right into the bottle?
I have, I believe from the verifiers, I have the only barrel warehouse that has 20-year-old barrels and 20 years all the way down to 1 year. And so I'm doing it. Most people are not doing it. They're not interested in putting the investment in. As you know, barrels are very cash intense. And in the whiskey, I think we're about to hit a 10-year-old, couple of barrels coming into the 10-year range this year. And so I have barrels, again, sequentially being put aside all the time.
So, what is the age on the rainbow?
The standard age on the basic Sierra Norte brand is 2 to 5 years old.
Okay.
For Europe, it's a requirement that be 3-year-old to be called whiskey. And in the US, straight whiskey is 2-year period. So that's kind of the mentality for the US, that it never goes under that.
Okay.
Now, how high? What's the altitude of Oaxaca?
It's about a mile high.
Okay, so it's not going to be as hot as, say, Mexico City or some of the other places. I don't think Mexico City's that high, is it?
Mexico City's higher.
Is it? Okay.
How'd you like it, Bob? Was it pretty hot for you? Because it's hot season.
It's cool in the nights, hot during the day. It's high desert, and so It's an interesting climate, and when when we are talking before about where how the corn was growing or how well it can grow, that's usually on the valley floor in Oaxaca. But as you go up into the mountains or over the mountain ranges that are there, you go into all these different climates, and so you'll see farmers growing literally on the side of the mountain wild. It appears to be wild, but it's actually cultivated. Whereas in some places in Oaxaca, near the central where Doug might be getting some of the corn, you'll see actual farm plots that you'd consider classic, but they're not large farm plots by any stretch of the imagination. A couple acres or a couple hectares, and that covers everything they need. But when you go up into the mountains, sometimes you'll see corn growing right next to squash, right next to coffee, right next to sugar cane, right next to agave, right next to every other creature and plant you can possibly imagine that's in Oaxaca, and that's all over the place. So it's an incredibly biodiverse area. And it's kind of hard to see because if you're just in Oaxaca Central and you go out to see some palenques like a lot of people do, you don't really have an appreciation for, hey, where in Oaxaca is this biodiversity? It seems to be pretty dry and high desert here. But you go outside of that main desert, which actually has a water table that's pretty high. A lot of people have wells there. They get a fair amount of water from it. You'll see an incredible amount of biodiversity elsewhere, and it's impressive to see.
We talk about, say, whiskeys that are aged in some place like Scotland versus Kentucky versus, say, Texas or Florida. And we make the comment that, if you get something from Florida or Texas or South Georgia and it ages 3 years, it's got the same age as something aging like 8 years maybe in Kentucky, or maybe 12 or 15 years in Scotland. How does Mexico compare to that, being the high desert where you're at?
I think we have an accelerated aging going on in the barrels, and we age them for a certain amount of time in barrels, and we pick the point where we consider it's best to take it out of the live barrels that I call and put it into dead barrels where it'll quit getting more wood on it, and they'll just be a more neutral vessel, the wood, so the oxidation process, it can go on and continue to let the whiskey develop over the years.
Yeah, and
What barrels do you use? Sorry, go on.
what type of barrels do you use? How easy is it to get barrels there?
I use French Limousin barrels. I think that's how you pronounce it in English. And I brought most of them myself from in containers from the Bordeaux and Bourgogne area, where they were used once for red wine, and I brought them to Mexico. So they're used barrels, and sometimes we have to recharge them, and most of the time, the first two or three uses are just fine. But then we'd have to recharge them to pump up the char layer, increase the color and flavor from the charcoal.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with whiskey from Mexico, it's very similar. The rules, like you said, you follow the rules to be whiskey, but at the same time, when you're just talking about a Mexican whiskey or whatnot, there's not the rules of used barrels, just like Scotch or Irish whiskey. You can use those used barrels, which is, I think, very a smart thing because of the heat that you're dealing with in those areas. If you were using newer barrels, I really think not only would it would be infused with too much flavor if you go too long, but also you would lose a lot more of the whiskey based off of the evaporation and the absorption of a new barrel that happens opposed to a used barrel where there's some whiskey still left in it. It's a smart way to go. Well, let's just talk about this rainbow Sierra Norte. I mean, uh, it is. I found that I really like it. I could tell right away it's pot still. Alan Bishop, who was the distiller that was on, I don't know if he's still on, but he's been a distiller at 2 different distilleries where he's been pot distilling. And this has a lot of flavor that he's always shooting for. I mean, the corn that you're using is unique in the terroir, but also putting it out between 2 and 5 years, like you said, or using 2 and 5 year whiskeys to do your blend, still maintains the flavor of the grain. The barrel hasn't influenced it to the point where it's overtaken and some of those grain flavors are taken out. So, my wife, who comes on the podcast from time to time, was planning on coming tonight, but she is a midwife and she is doing her job tonight. So, she wasn't able to, but she tasted this last night and she was impressed, and she has a palate that is very picky. So I would have to say, I do. This is a very enjoyable whiskey.
That's part of the trick and part of uh, the goal we have is to make something that is enjoyable to drink, and you can drink it all day long if you want to. we don't we never recommend that, but to give a mouthfeel, feel, and a soft flavoring on the palate is something that we work very hard at, which is done by slow distilling. We distill very slowly, and that makes and what I found with all the liquors that I've made, mezcal, rum, and whiskey, that gives the most enjoyable flavor for your palate.
What kind of
I get,
wheat yeast do you use? How do you get? Are you packaged because of the climate or are you actually capturing? How are you going about it?
Most of the yeast is natural yeast that comes in from the atmosphere because our fermentation vats are open vats, and a lot of people don't know it, but there's yeast in the air almost everywhere that you are. So I like to go through a number of batches when we get started, so that the most dominant yeast will take over of the wild yeast, and that's usually a real good one and gives a good yield and good flavors. So it'll change a little bit for if we like shut down for a couple months and then start up again. We have to re-ferment these yeast to develop and to prosper.
Well, how long is one of your
when I drink,
fermentations? How long?
The fermentations are 3, maybe 4 days.
Okay. All right, Randy, it's your turn. Sorry.
when I taste it, when I taste this, to start with on the nose, I get what I say is almost like a white dog smell. A really corn forward, brand new, straight out of the still smell. But when I drink it on the front, I get almost a grapey flavor like I've gotten in some of the Irish whiskeys that I've had. I get a really sweet, almost grapey flavor on it. And it coats, it's not super thick, but it coats very well. I don't get a solid hug like you get from some of the really high proof stuff that we get out of Kentucky, but I get just a really nice, smooth, velvety feel on my mouth and my cheeks, just like a hug you'd get from your grandmother. Not a Kentucky hug, a grandmother hug. And then the finish is, it's not super long, but it's long enough, definitely. I've still got it, and I took that sip 35 seconds ago or 40. Just a lot of good stuff going on in this bottle, in this glass.
I will have
Bob, you don't have any?
I will have to say that when you say you have a 10-year, I would be very interested in somehow tasting that, because that would be one of the things I love about distilleries and distilling. As you know, it's distilleries are journeys, and it's a journey that people take. I mean, when you laid something down in a warehouse when I first started, which was not let's see, 8 years ago, really getting into whiskey. People were putting stuff in, and distilleries were just starting out, or they were had 2-3 year whiskey release, and then they had bottled in bond, and then now they got a 10-year. And as you go, it's so much fun to follow that journey of a distillery, how they go about, like what you're doing. They keep doing they might have been doing 2 year on something for a while, and now they're adding in 3, 4, and 5 year to change to mature the flavor, still maintaining the grain. And then, as they keep going and their whiskey keeps or their stock, it allows them to do more things. And it's always so exciting to see that and to evolve with the person making it and getting to know it. And one of the things that's the saddest for me is if you started off at a distillery that just started off, and you go 5-6 years, and the stuff is starting to mature, and all of a sudden the person who was doing it goes someplace else. And that actually, in my opinion, changes the flavor of the whiskey. Meeting you and knowing what you did. And if, let's say, we come to Mexico and we hang out and we share whiskey together, and your spirits, it's what the whole industry is about. It's about the making of it, the community that makes it, the people who make it, the people who distill it, the people who sell it, the people who drink it, and the friends you drink it with. And that is why whiskey is such a great, in my opinion, spirit, and has always been a great spirit, because it's about people. Just my opinion. And this is very special tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him keep talking. I'm gonna let him talk. I'm gonna drink.
Yeah, I think that the rainbow corn whiskey is just a really great representation of all the corn that comes out of that Oaxacan Valley right there. And when you start drinking that one, if you're interested in trying the other corn varietals, there's the white, there's a yellow, the red, black, and a purple. And each one has a different flavor profile that is really truly unique. It's not like you're gonna miss it. It's right there. One of my favorites is the yellow corn. It just has this phenomenal mouthfeel. It's really good, smooth, rich corn flavor that's not overpowering, and is just a phenomenal corn whiskey. The rainbow corn is also very good to me, just because it captures so many different flavors and well rounded and not sharp in any way.
Yeah, Doug, you said it. It's just like, and Randy acknowledged it. As far as it's a 90 proof, it's not by no means, it's not by no means, what would you say, a soft whiskey proof or soft whiskey, but it drinks easy with flavor. There's not a lot. It doesn't get too hot. and it's just something that is really nice to sip on, and I think it would go well in some cocktails too.
It does great in cocktails, and we find that some of these fantastic bartenders, mixologists, they're so good that they can blend the different colors and the different flavors and make unique cocktails, fantastic cocktails with all the different flavors. It's just amazing what they can do with cocktails. Some of these guys are really very talented.
So, have you found that? I know you were talking about the mezcal aspect of not, over the last couple years, it kind of came on, and now it's not. It's kind of peaking. Have you found the whiskey is still moving pretty good for the amount that you're producing?
Well, for us, it's kind of a slow climb. Bob will tell you how difficult the market is. Right now, the market is way oversupplied with the all the large distilleries in the U.S. that have been pumping out production and have these huge rick houses. I think there's more barrels in the U.S. now than there has ever been in history.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of tough competition. A lot of those guys are really good distillers. Some of them, not so much. But we've got our specialty, which is the natural colored corns, and from Mexico. And so it has a place as a specialty niche product. And we call Bob and his guys our warriors because they're on the front of the battle where they have to sift through the crowd and find the people that want to drink something special and make sure that they can get it to them. And I think it's working well. It's going slow, but this is the nature of the game.
Since this segment is called Whiskey Without Borders, would you talk for a second about whiskey drinking in Mexico? What do they drink? Mexicans typically drink whiskey. Or there's a segment that does, segment that doesn't. Do they drink American whiskeys, Mexican whiskeys? Scott, how's it work?
Yeah, Mexico is not a big whiskey drinking country. It was that the elite drink whiskey and not drink tequila or mezcal. That was for the peasants and the poor people. But and so they drank whiskey. So whiskey was considered an expensive product, and it wasn't drinking in bulk. The two biggest whiskeys in Mexico are Buchanan's and Johnny Walker. And I think these are scotches. And now probably Jack Daniels is coming up alongside of them, I guess. But the Mexicans, they really don't know much about whiskey. So and it's still a little bit more expensive than tequila or mezcal, at least the silver stuff. And so it's a hard market to get into. There's not a very big market.
Do you sell your whiskeys in Mexico or just in the U.S.?
No, we sell some in Mexico also. We have some online stores, and in Oaxaca we have a group of restaurants that buy it. It's very hard to get liquor stores to buy it. There aren't really many liquor stores. It's mostly the chains that have a liquor section. So and you know how the chains are. They're very demanding.
They certainly are.
Yeah.
Yeah, whiskey is always received well as a gift in Mexico. If you're giving a bottle of whiskey as a gift, it's always received quite well.
Yeah.
So they know what they're getting.
Okay. Yeah. So so when you go to Mexico, you make sure you have enough whiskey, right?
Yeah, and if you need to practice, you can send me some as a gift, well, just so you get in the habit of giving.
Oh my
Do you
God.
sell any in Europe?
We sell a bit in Europe, and a couple of countries, Italy and Holland. And the Holland Dutch vendor sells to some other countries too. So we're not sure where always goes all the time. But yeah, we do sell a little bit there. But the US is our main market. And this is basically a bourbon, except for using the used barrels. And if we were in the US, we would use used barrels and it would be a bourbon. But since we're in Mexico, we can't use the bourbon designation.
Right, right. And it's corn. I mean, yeah, and it's 100% corn. I mean, the sweetness of it comes through. I mean, that's what you get when you're there's a distiller that makes a expression that's all corn here called mellow corn. And mellow corn, this is not. My wife described it as um not too sweet, well balanced. I mean, the one thing you can get off of this right away is that there's a little bit of a smokiness to it. There's a little bit of sweetness. You could taste the corn, and it's all balanced. Like when once you take that sip, you start to taste the sweetness on your tongue, and then there's an aspect of like Randy said of White Dog or Moonshine. And there's just a little bit of that. And when you take all of them and how you've balanced it in the bottle, you've done a nice job. I mean, it's not you're smart to do this way because if you're going to sell here in the United States, it shouldn't. They already know how to make bourbon, and they all know how to make that type of a whiskey. And if you're going to be making it, I mean, why compete against it? Just this is a very very nice alternative or change to that type of whiskey, but it's not like a Scotch. There's a familiarity of this type of whiskey, of the Mexican whiskey, to bourbon or a rye. But it's definitely has familiar flavors, but it's its own, like you said, its own terroir. But it's not so different as a malt whiskey like a Scotch or an Irish whiskey. So I think you've really done a nice job with it.
It brings together flavors from basically almost all over the world of my palate.
So that puts us in the world whiskeys,
Yes.
the category.
No, and I think the French oak barrels probably help with that a little bit too. I really do.
Well, Bob was saying, Tanya was saying, we don't want to be like everybody else.
Yeah, it does. It's not like a finished whiskey. It's not like the Scotch. It's not like an Irish. It's got. I love the commitment to the pot still. I mean, that's why you pot still, so you can get those grainy flavors. And if you leave it in the barrel for a real long time, a lot of times you pick up all the flavors of the barrel, and you kind of start to lose that. I mean, good whiskey, and then you'll start picking up those caramel sugars and everything like that. But right now, you have a really nice sweetness from the corn, not too much from the barrel. You're just doing a really good, like I said, it's well balanced, and it's not easy as I can tell. It's not easy to do this.
One thing I don't think Doug mentioned, Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, but these are each bottle is part of a batch release, correct? So you'll have different batches that are different flavor profiles from year to year as they come out. Is that correct?
That's right. We do a batch and give it a number, a production number of, X number of loads of black corn per se. And then we put in the bottle. So it's all single in the barrel. So it's all single barrels. You've broken the batch down from however, and many from as little as 1 barrel to as many as 20 barrels for our batch sizes. And then we track these over time, and you have to track them individually because every barrel is slightly different because they're used barrels. And some of them will develop faster and some of them slower. So over the years, we can do some blending in the barrel, but basically every barrel is going to come out as a single barrel. So when we harvest the barrels, every barrel is bottled separately. And so even though it's maybe the same batch, it's going to be slightly different because of the conditions of the barrel itself. And if we've done any blending to like bring it back into the flavor profile, if it had gone, say, too far, like Kenny was saying about, the wood taking over too much. And so it's a big tracking game. We've got like 600 barrels approximately, and it's a big job for the few people we have at the distillery. We have about 20 employees now.
And Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, but those barrels are for sale if someone wanted to come down and buy one.
That's right. We do sell single barrels, and so like some of the upper end bar chains or restaurant chains will come in and buy one every once in a while.
We may come down and visit you.
I
that likes to buy barrels.
you speak for yourself, Randy. You can buy it. I don't know I can't imagine as a group or a person going to Mexico and buying a barrel and what kind of bringing that back to America. What kind
I've got a
of
friend named Doug that can help me with that
what
part of it.
it's not what kind of
And Bob.
crossing back over, what kind of liquor laws are on that?
Well, let me tell you, Juan Pablo and I can help you bring a barrel back to the United States, no problem.
Without getting arrested.
Between Doug and Bob and Juan Pablo, we can get them back.
We do all the proper channels. It gets invoiced, it crosses the border, and it goes to whatever state it needs to go to.
Okay, because I'm in the state of Ohio, and I bought a barrel from with through the state of Ohio, and they wanted to arrest me. so
You don't shop in Ohio.
yeah, I live here, but at the same time, yeah, that would be I would definitely, that would be great to be able to come down and see what you're doing. It sounds like it's you're in a really nice area that's got to be beautiful. Now, Doug, one last question from me. Where were you born and where have you lived throughout your career?
I was born in Bronxville, New York, outside of New York City. When I was young, my folks moved to Beaumont, Texas, and we lived there till about third grade. And my parents got divorced, and my mother went on vacation to Mexico and decided to stay there in Guadalajara.
Wow.
We moved to Europe and up through high school. I lived in 5 different countries, Mexico, US, and Spain, France, Switzerland, and went back to the US for college. Did my college in Wisconsin.
Wow.
And California.
What part of Wisconsin?
And I worked with Beloit, Wisconsin.
I'm originally from the Milwaukee area, so I'm familiar with Beloit.
Okay, I went to Beloit College there for a couple of years.
Okay.
One of our, I'm sorry, one of our Scotchy Bourbon Boys, Martin Nash, asked, what type of rick houses do you use?
Brick house.
Rick house. We don't have a rick house. We have shelving in the distillery, and I've got a couple of underground cellars, but most of it's stored in the rooms in the distillery.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. So that is a diverse background, and then to come and end up in Mexico, saving extinct corn, extinct corns that you're bringing back those corns. That's got to be very satisfying.
Well, first it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And we get to this stage where you're at, and it's satisfying.
Okay.
A little bit of help from Bob and Juan Pablo. A lot of help from Bob and Juan Pablo.
Yeah. Now I've got batch 3, barrel 218, and then bottle 184.
Yeah, I have 186, and then the same. That's because Bob's got us.
Right.
Yeah, we have the barrels each have their own number, which would be a barrel number.
218.
This one's 218.
And then there'll be a batch number. They'll let you know what batch it came out from.
That's batch 3. Is that from batch 3 of 2025, I'm assuming? Or is that batch 3 from total?
Batch 3 from total.
It should be batch, isn't that batch 3 of rainbow corn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Each color will have its sequence number batch.
Okay.
And then there'll be X number of bottles per barrel. So the number of bottles will never be very high.
Have you found a favorite out of the rainbow, a favorite batch or a favorite batch bottle combination that you just really, really like?
No, I don't think that we do enough volume, and we're not close enough to the consumers to have that kind of relationship going.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about you personally. Is there a barrel or batch that you like? Did you like batch 1 because it was your first one, or improved on 2 or 3, or what do you personally like?
Well, that's a hard one. I'm not a taster, and I told Bob, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be a taster on the show. The way I work is I make my recipes and I make a product. If I like it, we'll make some more or make it into a product. If I don't like it, throw it aside and get on to something else. So my taste seems to be universal enough from all my history and living and eating and drinking in so many different countries, that what I like, other people seem to like. I can't drink enough whiskey to taste and get a memory of every single batch and every single color of the whiskeys. In general, my favorite is the purple whiskey. And I would kind of call that the most bizarre flavor of the different colors.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, does that purple corn whiskey have like those anise notes that you sometimes get from a purple corn?
Do they have what notes?
Like anise, like licorice?
An anise or
And
licorice.
Again, I'm not a taster. I'm not going to go there. I don't know how to describe the
So-
flavors or language I should say it in.
So,
Plus,
so,
it's not
so,
really
Doug,
fair
what?
to ask you pick which child is your favorite.
So what you do when you're making and you get it and then it's a batch and it's all ready and you dump or whatever, um, you don't taste it. You drink it, and if you like it, that's what it is. It's about what you like. You're not look. It's not about the individual flavors or trying to describe what it is because you know what you like. That's kind of how you work it.
Right, right.
Okay.
And
That's probably the way it should be done. I think a lot of people who blend whiskey or make batches or do stuff like that are very would love to be able to just do that. But there's marketing demands, and you've told the marketers that they're not getting that from you. They can come up with the notes that they need to come up with. Okay, so that makes sense.
We've got another friend of the podcast, Mark Carter, who does Old Carter whiskey, and he's kind of the same way. He's like, I like it or I don't like it. It's delicious or it's not delicious.
that's delicious. That's the word that I look for, and I want people that drink my product to use that as their standard. It's got to be delicious to every single one of those palates out there, and everybody's different. So you better have a good product if you want that kind of following loyalty.
Yes, sir. And you have a good product. Very good.
And I have some very, very loyal people. Um,
Well, I mean, for drinking, never drinking a Mexican whiskey and then reading about what you're doing and how you went about doing it, I would definitely say we've tasted a lot of different type whiskeys from around the world. And as far as myself personally, I definitely like this whiskey. I think as you keep going forward, the further you go, I think that it's not going to go any other direction but better and up. So I think you got to keep this is definitely keep doing what you're doing, and we love to promote what you're doing because you're doing it well, and it's what everybody loves about how the commitment that you have to this and what you're doing with your community and then sharing throughout the rest of the world.
We've got a fair amount of folks in the Chicago area, and I'm sure they can find this somewhere up there.
No, he said it's only.
yes,
Oh,
one
it is.
Chicago.
You're right. He was in
So,
Illinois.
so he,
Go on, Doug. You were saying something.
Juan Pablo, the national distributor, is also a Illinois distributor, and he's in Chicago, right outside of Chicago City. So he's got his pulse on the market and is in a lot of the liquor stores. And obviously, if anybody goes and asks for it, they can demand it, and he'll get it to them right away.
And if you're in
I'll
a
check
state,
and see if Roy's or Benny's, either one has it.
I believe Benny's has it.
Okay.
But I'm not sure about that. I know if you're in a state that is not Florida or Illinois, you could look at sierranortewhiskey.com and you can buy it there. You can also go to Mercado de Mezcal and find it there, or search on Google. I'm sure there's a couple places you can find as well.
Okay, so you can buy it and have it shipped if your state has shipped, if you have it shipped into your state.
Correct.
That's yeah. So we
That's
can cover most of the US with the online sales where we don't have distributors.
Okay, good.
perfect. Perfect. So, is there anything we missed that you would like to tell us?
There's something I'd like to ask. If corn was developed 7,000 years ago in Mexico, and they started exporting it with their trading partners going north and going south. They had corn was being grown and harvested all over the Americas when the Europeans arrived. And so in North America, we hear from the Thanksgiving tales, they were starving to death, and the indigenous people brought them turkeys and cornbread and stuff like that. Now, I think that those people, when they traveled and moved to the New World, that some of them brought their little stills, especially those Irish guys. And I think that they must have made whiskey from some of this native corn that the indigenous people were growing and trading. But I've never seen anything to suggest that or to support that in the history that I read about whiskey. What do you guys think about that idea?
So I met a guy whose family has ties back to the Mayflower. So there you go. That's like the pilgrims that came here, and his family. He's in San Francisco right now. Has been aging barrels for hundreds of years in the caves, and in the caves, what was well preserved was the logs from the Mayflower. So he has his family logs from the Mayflower, and he also has they brought a still over on the Mayflower, and he has the mash bill that they tried on the first fermentation, which was unsuccessful after 9 months. It didn't work. So they did the next one, and that fermentation worked. But they were distilling, even though they were a religious cult that was not supposed to drink. So that's what I've heard. So what about, have you heard that before?
No, I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
What was Nashville? What were the grains?
Well, he had that. That was something that he was working on. I did not get it, but corn, I believe corn was part of it. And just if you think about it, they basically just cooked a bunch of grains, put them in a container, whatever the container was, and let nature have at it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I know we were doing ryes around the time of the Revolution. They weren't aging them, but George Washington was distilling rye in the morning and selling it in Washington, D.C. in the afternoon. Don't know specifically the history of corn other than.
No, they definitely would have been. Yeah, that would have been. I guarantee you that grain. Those guys used whatever they could.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I just don't know. I just don't personally have not researched that.
I've never found any information when I asked the internet that question, but I'm an old guy. I don't know how to use the internet very well.
Well, I mean, I got to know the man that he's a distiller, so he kind of has told me some things, but I haven't gotten out to San Francisco. He's invited me to come many times, and I have not gotten out there, yet. A full-time job and running this podcast keeps me busy.
Do you guys happen to know if you're in Arizona?
Arizona, yeah, we have a distributor in Arizona, Pacific Edge. It's available in Arizona.
Okay, because another friend of the podcast lives in Arizona.
Okay, you probably have to ask the store to get it for them, but it's at a stone's throw away, so it's there.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right. So there we go. So I want to thank both Bob and Doug for coming on. Thank you so much, you guys, for your time. What time is it, by the way, in Mexico right now? Are you on our time right now?
It's 7:46 here.
Okay, so you're on Central.
So are you in Western Mexico then?
We're in southern Mexico, the same time frame as Mexico City.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I finish up, and then you guys at any point, if you we usually invite some people that were listening to come on with us, but if you, I understand your time and everything, if you anytime you want to leave, once we finish up, feel free just to say goodbye. Thank you both for coming on. This was a special podcast, and like I said, um, it's kind of cool having somebody. It's the first time we've ever had an international guest, so I appreciate you being our first one. So, all right, thank you. All right, everybody. You guys all make sure. Bob, tell everybody what the website was for the Sierra Norte again.
You can go to Doug's website, which is sierranortewhiskey.com, and you can order it there. It's got a pretty fair price on it, which is great. That's what you're going to find out in the market. So you can buy it there. You can also go to Mercado de Mezcal, I believe, and you can find it there as well, or you can just do a search on Google or your favorite AI tool for Sierra Norte whiskey and find one. So.
All right. Thanks
Thank you.
so much. Thanks, Whiskey Doctor. We're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Make sure you check out all of our whiskey. We've got Glencairns, we've got T-shirts, and also sometimes bourbon balls. That's our swag. And then we are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, along with Apple, iHeart, Spotify. And no matter whether you listen to us or watch us, make sure that you leave us good feedback, become members. I want to shout out to Kirk for becoming one of our top shelf members tonight. That's our first ever. Thank you so much for that. And then also, I think Darth Bader was asking a question about Weller 107 in Ohio. Yes, Weller 107 in Ohio is always there. And then also remember, good bourbon equals good times and good friends. Make sure you drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, and live your life like the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, uncut and unfiltered. And our AI theme song is going to take us out.
Wake up, sunrise and boots on the floor, working hard all day till you can't no more. Rolls on, but the choice is yours. How you play it out when you walk through that door. One bottle, one drink, one pour. That's what the Scotchy Bourbon Boys got in store. Tuesdays, Thursdays, come pour the seat. We'll taste through the whiskey on the rocks and knees. Bourbon Scotch or a good old ride. Japanese Irish, yeah, will tell you why. So wherever you're sipping, near or far, tune in with us from your home or your car. One bottle, one drink, one pour. That's a podcast you've been looking for.
All right, we are finished up. I threw it out to the people on Facebook. If then, once again, you guys, as soon as you guys want to go, I don't want to take up too much of your time. You've already been gracious with it, and that's fine. But uh, usually I did send it out there, so a lot of, we will.
It hasn't come across yet, but we'll have several friends that watch the podcast with us almost every time, and they'll have some great questions. They love all kinds of whiskey.
I'm fine with some questions. So,
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it should come through.
It did. I did hit it.
Well, I'm looking at, yeah, I just now saw it.
All right.
So somebody ought to be on it any second.
Usually John comes
Still
on.
there, Doug?
Yeah, Doug. I think Doug is still there, right, Doug?
Yeah, Doug's here.
Oh, cool.
I didn't hear you when you said something.
I'm here, I say.
Okay, got it that time.
Yeah, Doug, I wanted to mention to the guys, just so they're aware, that you have the Scorpion Mezcal brand as well. And that, I believe that's what you started with. And every bottle of Scorpion Mezcal comes with a real live dead scorpion in it. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's the beginning and the foundation of the business is Scorpion Mezcal.
Who does the Scorpion Mezcal?
Doug does.
Oh my gosh. So are you the only one that does that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. So I'm fully
We've got friends that have a bottle of it.
I'm fully aware of the Scorpion Mezcal that you do. So nice to meet you. I would hope that friend who owns the bottle would be coming on. Oh, I don't know.
There a small period of time when we were registered in Ohio and did ship some scorpions to Ohio.
That
was a long time ago.
he has 2 of those bottles, and he's tried to get. Now, have you eaten the scorpion yourself?
Oh, I've eaten a lot of scorpions.
He's been trying to get Tiny to eat one, but he won't. Is that right?
No, I will not. I said I will drink the mezcal, but I'm not. Yeah, he's got it. Walker has joined us, but he's just his audio, not his video yet. There you go. Hey, Walker.
Hey, how are y'all tonight?
Good. Hey, bro.
Doug, Bob, thanks again for coming on.
Sure.
Our pleasure.
And Randy and I have been sampling some different things, not from other countries specifically, but when our palate aligns on some things that are aged in a little bit more heat than maybe some others would like. So we still align on some things that are made in Florida and Alabama and Texas that maybe some people don't care as much for, but that doesn't mean that it's not good whiskey. It just means it may or may not align to some people's taste.
Bob is very familiar with St. Augustine products, I'm sure.
Yeah.
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 Some of it's good, some of it's in a different league.
And Randy and I like one from my home state, which is also aged in very hot conditions in Alabama and southern Alabama, in extreme North Florida, if you like to think of it that way.
He's in his Gambia, which is about 5 minutes north of Pensacola.
Yeah, and it's maybe 5 minutes, maybe less from the border.
Yeah.
You could practically throw something over the border from there.
And this fella smoking the cigar is Super Nash. He is one of the original Scotchy Bourbon Boys, or close to original, if not.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, Super Nash.
Glad to be on.
Nice to meet you.
I'm gonna have to get a bottle of this into y'all's hands. I'm coming back down Friday to get the moving truck.
Yep.
Where in Gainesville can I pick these bottles up?
We're not in Gainesville at the moment, unfortunately,
Okay. Well, I know how to fix that. I know where you are.
but I'm in Jacksonville, so if you
Yeah.
swing by, happy to help you.
And I just
I
wanted
can-
to ask,
Oh, go ahead, Supernaut.
ask Doug, do you have any plans, to, maybe finish in some tequila barrels?
No, I don't.
Okay.
And I'm gonna avoid that road. There's so many roads to go down
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I just had to ask. I know, like I say, I can't wait to taste all the distillates that you already have, uh, and the different varietals of corn that you use. But that was the question that ran through my mind. It was, since we're here on Cinco de Mayo, and since you're down in Mexico, and I know you have probably all these barrels and stuff available to you. But like I say, you can try to go down that, yeah, it's just I guess a business decision.
Well, it's how much can you do?
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds like you're doing a whole heck of a lot right now.
I've got my hands full.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Hey, I just thank you and appreciate you.
And I know for the cocktail world in the United States, Bob and Doug, especially, Tales of the Cocktail in New Orleans is big every year. Even if you had one cocktail artist, one mixologist who was representing your brand, that might be another way to continue to get your name out there as well. Because I know, at least when I lived in Kentucky for almost 2 years, at least four of the mixologists that I talked to all said, yeah, we go down there every year. It's really separate from some of the other parts of the whiskey community and beverage community, where they kind of bring in people from all over the United States. Maybe on the level, maybe not on the level of San Francisco World Spirits, but for mixology and for cocktails. And even if you just had one person who made a cocktail or a couple of cocktails with your brand, that might be another way to continue to push your brand forward as well, at least in the United States anyway.
Yeah, that sort of situation is a very good one, except it's a very expensive way to go.
I can imagine. Yeah.
A small company that has no financial backing, we pour ourselves up our bootstraps. And those events are generally dominated by the huge companies.
Yes.
We're just kind of pushed into a corner. And every once in a while, we'll get a little bit of recognition. But that's because it costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
I'll see what I can do to contact some mixologists in my small corner of Arizona and see what they think, and see if they've already made cocktails with it, and or if they'd be willing to go ahead and make cocktails with it, just see what they can come up with.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just going to ask them, where are you going?
Yeah, Doug did get some press in 2018 with the Yellow Corn Whiskey and Whiskey Advocate. They ranked in one of the top 20 whiskeys of the year for 2018 and gave him, I think, 90 points.
Did they come see him?
That's tremendous record.
Did they come?
I don't know.
What was that, Doug? Did they come see you?
Yeah, they came to us, they looked us up, came to us through the email and everything. And they asked for samples to send to Scotland. And I nearly fell off my seat when they, I wasn't sure if they were joking with me or what, but no, some samples to Scotland. And we got some great grapes, and we were number 20 in the 20 best whiskeys in the world in 2018, like Bob said. So we got some kudos there. They just asked photographs that they're going to be doing an issue in the summer on red whiskey, because there's a few American red corn whiskeys.
Mhm.
And they wanted us to be included. They're pretty nice folks. They're a killer company. But the guys working there, the writers, they're pretty conscientious guys and girls. So we're hoping to get some exposure through them again.
Yeah,
That-
they
that's
should
not-
they should come visit you. I mean, it sounds like the distillery and the font, there that would be something to highlight, definitely, what you're doing with the terroir and everything there.
I think we should plan a Scotchy Bourbon Boys trip down there.
Come on down.
Absolutely. I'm all in for it.
Well, I just took a group down of 10 people last week, and so if you guys are ready, let me know. If I can't make it, I'll send you the
Oh,
itinerary.
no, no. If I'm going, Bob, I'm going with you.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not going. I feel much more comfortable going
That's
with
fine.
you taking us down. Now that sounded like my kind of thing right there.
Well, here's the
Mine
thing.
too.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you guys some stories when you're down there. You can't tell your wives because they're not gonna let you come back. So, when you decide to come down, that's the deal.
Although
We've
sometimes,
always got a good rapport on trips. What goes on the trip stays on the trip.
yeah, and sometimes my wife comes on the trips.
She's welcome to come.
She's been on the podcast. Yeah, and since
Awesome.
she found a whiskey that when she finds whiskeys she likes to go there.
Yeah. Yes, she
Cool.
does.
Well, we want to encourage the ladies to get on board. A big part of my development of the products was to make products that ladies would like to drink also. We found with the mezcal starting off that they're just too rough and hard for the ladies. They just wouldn't drink it.
Yeah.
So I changed the formulas a little bit, learned a little bit from our tequila friends, and made it something that was delicious on the palate and soft and smooth that the ladies would be happy to drink. And I've taken that sort of technique, which has got a lot to do with the slow distillation through my entire career, so that the product would be accessible for the female palate. So the ladies are welcome.
Absolutely. Great. That's one thing I've learned through my home distilling and just learning and tasting is that and my wife, I bring her in all the time. Especially, if we're doing tastings of new stuff and things like that, I'll bring her in because of such a palate that she has, and it's just a wonderful additive to the experience that I get, and learning what she knows and what she tastes from the whiskeys and the tequilas that we do.
And they can definitely bring something to the table that maybe we don't recognize. They can recognize it easily.
Yep, absolutely.
And of course, in terms of getting it sold, they're very important to let the money go at that store.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You are so right there. Oh, Doug, you hit the nail on the head right there.
and Super Nash and Tanya and I
yeah.
talked about this. If the bottle's going to be empty because your wife or your significant other, your girlfriend, whatever is going to like is like the next question they're not going to ask is when can we get some more?
On a bunch of stuff.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about how wonderful you are.
Merry Christmas. Got my hair dry.
Oh,
Sasha, is Woody out?
all right.
Yeah, we'd
Kurt.
rather have that question. When can we get
Hey.
some more? Why are you spending so much money?
Speaking of which, my wonderful wife,
Cheers, Sherry.
Mrs. Super Nash. This is the one that helps make it all happen. If without her, like I said, I couldn't do it. We got to have our better head, right?
Definitely.
Riley.
All right, let's see if I can give him.
All right. That doesn't sound like Riley.
I haven't found my better half yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And I've been very fortunate to have a lot of good friends around. So
I think I just did it. Hopefully, yes. There you go.
I had to go put some laundry in my scrubs in so I'd have clean scrubs for tomorrow morning.
Gotcha. Come on. What do you say, Woody?
And this stuff just hits,
You got it?
touches all the buttons. It really does.
Let's see if we can
You
get
coming?
Kirk in
Hey,
here.
hey, Randy, did you have any of those bottles with you the other night when we were coming through Georgia?
Any of the what?
Of those bottles that right there?
No, he shipped it to my house and I got it when I got home.
Okay.
But you
Yeah.
weren't gonna meet me anyway. You were busy racing.
Well, with all my brothers and family and sons and nephews.
But
Yeah,
I
it was a
may
big
have
time.
some when I go back through Georgia Saturday or Sunday, if I can get over there.
All right.
yeah, I think Supernax and Kirk are the priority. I can fend for myself here. I imagine being this close to the border and in the Arizona market, I can find it.
He says it's in the Arizona market.
Yeah, I may have to ask for it, but I can get it here.
It's also up in Chicago, but it can be bought online on
Yeah.
the website
Yeah.
and shipped.
Oh yeah, South Carolina accepts shipments like that, so I'll have to go online there, grab me a couple bottles.
There's Kirk.
There
Hey,
you,
Kirk.
yeah,
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, cheers.
It's all right, Tiny. It's all right. I'm like, what's going on? I'm live on my group page, but I couldn't get in, and it's probably me half the time. Hey,
hey, I always
kind of-
message me. I saw that.
yeah. I'm not quite sure how to get in there on that stuff, but that's all right. Say, Bob and Scorp, I got to tell you, I did the scorpion shot down in Aruba one time, and I survived it, so that was pretty cool. But
That
Bob and
that's
Scorp,
Doug.
kind of a.
Doug is the
Where
master
are you
distiller.
guys? Okay.
Scorp is
Where are
Doug.
you guys located at as far as getting your and sourcing your water
Our source of water,
for crops?
oh, for the crops,
Yes, sir.
we basically don't have water for crops, just rainwater.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what your guys' situation is, but I'm reminded of a time that we were in Aruba when I did that shot. We've been down there a couple of times. You know, that's a very dry and arid climate for sure. And there was a winery there and a distillery there. They took all the wine bulbs or the wine plants and cut them and spliced them and put new plants on top of them for their grape plants. But they raised sugarcane too for their white rum. And they got all their water, it was all gray water from all the hotels and motels and cleaning industry. Has that ever been a thought of your guys's? And it works really well.
Well, we don't have access to any.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, when I was listening to you guys, I was like, man, I really want to ask him. I really want to know, you know, because that is a thing. That is a thing.
I mean, Doug, wasn't last week in Oaxaca, didn't they run out of water, like downtown Oaxaca in a lot of spots? Wasn't there a water issue? That's what I was told.
Water, different parts of water is always
Yeah.
run in Oaxaca. They just spread out where so they don't, starve everybody out. And basically, we have to buy water in tank trucks to bring it to our house. And
Okay.
you have to have a recipient to put it in.
A reservoir of some sort, yeah.
Yeah.
Cistern, yes.
Yes, that's true. And then you pump it up to a tank on your roof that gravity feeds water into the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
But
it.
the people in the rural part of Oaxaca is mostly well. So, or they buy gallons to drink.
Okay. Yeah. All righty. That's fair. I was just curious.
Yeah, so for the distillery, what kind of filtration system do you use?
Scorpion.
We have a, let's see, a sand, filter. And,
Okay.
well, first it goes through a cartridge filter.
Yeah.
Water goes through a sand filter and then a activated carbon filter. And
Okay.
so, and then it goes up to holding tanks.
Okay. I was just wondering if you did have some type of like a limestone filter included in that, but yeah, just carbon filter and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that works.
And
Yeah,
then-
that works, thank God.
And then,
Yeah.
and then they have this, and then he has this thing called the still filter.
No, he has a thing called the barrel filter. Correction.
No, the still.
Yeah, the barrel is the final filter.
Although
I agree.
the still will definitely, when it comes to taking the water impurities out, that's taken care of on the still. Now, as far as
Right, but the barrel is a secondary carbon filter.
well, that is a carbon filter for the alcohol impurities.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still a
based
carbon
off your heads and your, that type of thing, and that's where that's where it'll do it. I always find it funny when people talk about in the early 1900s when the water, or in the 1800s when the water supply wasn't very good and people were getting cholera and everything, and they'd all drink whiskey instead. I found it funny, if you're all drinking whiskey, why didn't they just run the water through the still? I mean, that would serve the purpose, right?
Yeah.
If it's very expensive to do that.
Yeah, because you need the energy, correct?
You boil it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Boil it
tried
on the
that and I quit really fast.
We don't, also, you don't get the minerals and stuff that your body needs if you're drinking pure distilled water.
Right.
You gotta put corn back into it to make it healthy.
The carbon.
Cheers, Randy.
That's only for water. I said the carbon filters are only used for water. It's not used for any of the alcohol.
No.
It's all the flavor out. And
Yeah.
what's the point of using all these incredible raw materials if you're just gonna strip the flavor out?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, isn't that what
Yeah.
what
You wanna
vodka?
drink whiskey.
Isn't that
If you
what
wanna drink
vodka's
the
for?
whiskey- Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, that's what vodka's for, right?
It depends on your vodka. If you've got some really interesting vodkas.
No, it doesn't.
That good flavor.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. People like to say it does.
You're wrong again.
No, I'm
Just
right.
accept it.
Nope, I'm right. Vodka sucks.
Oh, no, yeah.
Hey, Scorp.
When you have drank this vodka, then you.
I've
talk to your
drank-
damn mouth.
I've drank lots of vodkas. I drank. I
Never
drank.
drank
Nope.
Mongolian vodka.
Nope.
Money on it.
Nope.
Scorp, do you have a favorite corn that you like? There's so many different colors out there and varieties. I had a black corn whiskey at Distillers Guild this weekend. Very, very, very earthy. Didn't really care for that one. But there's got to be some corn out there that's fairly sweet. And I would imagine it's hard to separate all those different corns that you're getting. Do you have a favorite? Meaning, if you could pick one of those colored corns that you like the best, be able to separate it all.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
The purple one, the best.
Yeah.
And from a whiskey's point of view, I call it the most bizarre flavor.
Yeah. That's fair.
Corn will be more closely related to the whiskeys you're used to in the US. And the yellow, of course, is highly appreciated. So I guess it's on that way too, because a lot of the modern corn that they're using at the distilleries is yellow cattle corn, basically.
Yeah.
So there's got a relationship there. But
I should probably
Kirk.
mention this. He goes by Doug instead of Scorp.
Yeah.
Kirk goes by Kirk instead of iPad 3.
Yeah. I need some help with that, Doug.
So Kirk, Earlier in the podcast, they were talking. Doug was talking about when they get the corn in, it's mixed colors, and they hand sort each kernel to get enough purple corn to get enough of all the different colors. And then there was a batch every year that was mixed that that didn't get sorted, and he put that together until he had enough to do this rainbow corn right here, which has all the corns.
I love that. I heard about the rainbow colors on that. I think that makes it pretty interesting. That's great marketing too. But I also thought about, and I didn't hear that part about separating the corn. And if you could do that, I would think there'd be machine with AI at some point. But if you're hand separating it, that's whole next level. It's all sometimes about the story that's behind the distiller and the guy that's blending all this too. And there's a premium to be paid there for that. And I appreciate that you guys are doing that. And I love it. I love it. I love the story behind the whiskey. So I'll be trying to source a few bottles here myself and see where that goes thing. But this is one of the better podcasts. Boys do have the best podcasts out there because they are uncut and unfiltered. I guys too, SLB and a lot of the other ones that do a great job. But I love this uncut, unfiltered, where we can talk to the distiller, we can talk to the people, the owners, or look into it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll spread the word up here. And I'm in Montana. So over by Yellowstone, but I'll spread the word over here and I'll try and source some bottles through a few guys or get some up here. And Doug, I'm looking forward to trying some of your expressions, sir. Thank you.
Well, great. I appreciate that.
Mark, I'll get you one out next week.
Randy, you're the guy. That
He
guy's
is
got
the
connections.
man.
I love that. Yes, the man. I got some coming out to him too. So yeah, I love it. And then Bob, what cap city are you in too? I missed a little bit of it.
I'm in
Forgive me.
Jacksonville. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm an alcohol wholesaler. And I started importing mezcal in 2016, 2017. And then I had a brewery for a while, and then I started distributing 2023 in the state
Okay.
of Florida.
Okay. Intercoastal Canal. That's some good fishing. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bob is a friend of a friend. Some of y'all know my friend Jim Maker, who owns a couple of breweries and is an intellectual properties attorney. Kirk, he's the one I was telling you about.
Yeah, I might have to run into him fairly soon.
And he and Bob I think y'all do some business together, don't you, Bob?
I met Jim playing water polo.
Oh, you're a water polo guy too?
Yeah, that's how I met Jim.
I hope you look better in a swimsuit than the guys on his team.
Yeah.
I looked at the picture of them on there and was like, oh, put my sunglasses on.
A lot of man. A lot of man.
But not only the sunglasses, they look like gorillas.
Some of them
Chest and the arms.
Some of them
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I could drown in a kiddie pool, so I don't think I'll be getting in on that one.
Jim's not a huge guy. He's probably almost my height.
I'll be running the side of the pool.
What?
I'll be running the bar up on the side of the pool.
Oh, okay. I'll be sitting at the bar drinking
before we
waiting.
Right?
Bob, that is so cool. I mean, I have so much respect for people who can play water polo. The energy it takes to do that,
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
I can't say I've ever played. I can swim till doomsday, but I can't say I've ever played water polo. So that might be a thing in my future later.
There's a lot of water polo in Phoenix. Are you in Phoenix?
No, I'm about 3 hours away from Phoenix. I'm actually closer to the border than I am to Phoenix by far.
He's
Yeah,
next to
surprising.
Tombstone. He's next to Tombstone.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm about 30 minutes from Tombstone.
okay.
San Juan Hill, all that stuff.
I wish.
So, Nash, what are you smoking there?
I got a Tabac Especial cigar.
Looks like a 60 millimeter. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
absolutely nice. Good eye there, Kurt.
So, Doug, it sounds like you don't really drink a lot. Is that true?
Yeah, I only drink the stuff we can't sell.
Hopefully that's not much. Hope you don't have much drink.
Well, actually, I prefer to put it into barrel, just drink
Yeah.
what I allocate to
What
my,
is the 10-year the oldest stuff you have right now?
in the whiskey, yes. In mezcal, I have 20-year.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I'm afraid to check the barrel that there might not be anything left in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that heat and that angel's here. They're doing
I
whatever they
want
want.
to either come down and get a 10-year or have you send one up through Bob so that I can.
Hey, Nash, Nash, you got that? Nash, you got the fact that he's the guy that has the mezcal that he sold to Matt bought that were the scorpions in the bottom of the bottle.
Oh, yeah, that we drank?
Yeah, that we drank the mezcal. We didn't eat the scorpion.
Yeah, oh my
Yeah,
God.
that Doug makes that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, talk about
That's my product.
Hey, yeah, and I ate the scorpion.
You
There you
did.
go.
Yes, when we did it because we had to bet on it. You
You,
don't remember that, do you?
I was.
A T-shirt.
Oh,
You were 3 sheets in the wind.
so were
But
you.
yeah, I ate the little scorpion in there.
Okay, so
Because-
I'm 3 sheets to the wind. The guy who ate the scorpion is the guy that was 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah.
You ate 2 of them, Tiny. You just didn't remember.
No, I did not.
No, he didn't. He would not touch it. But me and Matt, it came down to me and Matt.
It's like
I'll have
chicken.
you guys,
I did it for the bet.
I'll have you guys know that scorpion was 100% organic because Doug pays.
It was also embalmed. It was also embalmed.
What?
Yeah.
He pays.
In mezcal.
Wait, what does Doug do to the scorpions? How does he do it?
Doug pays the kids in Oaxaca to catch live scorpions. How many pesos, Doug? Did you scorpion?
I'm sorry?
How many pesos do you pay the kids for the scorpions?
Been a couple of years since we bought them. They were last around 5 pesos. About what is that? About 25 cents.
Yeah, but 25 cents.
He would pay him 25 cents for each live scorpion. You don't want dead scorpions; those are easy to catch. You just poison them. These are live scorpions, and so, like I said, it's got their organic certificate.
So do you drop them in alive? Do you drop them in alive?
We have to kill them in the mezcal. These are FDA rules. Kill them in mezcal. They can't be, you can't use an insecticide to kill them. So they got
Right.
them alive, and we kill them in the distillery, and then we have to wash them for about at least 6 months to get all the dirt and poop and everything out of them.
Okay.
We have to cut the stinger. We don't have to, but we do. We cut the stinger. Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna get stuck in their craw or something.
Yeah. Right.
That stinger is like steel.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that little scorpion that was in the bottle was like about 2 inches. Yeah, it was.
It wasn't no little scorpion. Jesus.
Yeah, that was a little scorpion, and it was about 2 inches with the curled up tail. But I did not notice until you said it that the stinger was missing. But I remember it now. It was missing.
Well, it better.
And you're still alive. Yeah, you get a pickup if you ate one with a sticker on it instead of a T-shirt or a stinger on it.
Yeah.
I just somebody sent me a scientific article about scorpions that they actually have steel, different types of metals in different parts of their body. Or like their armor, there's one type of steel. Their stinger is another type of steel that is just developed over the years, and it's actually metal.
Wow. I did not know that.
And they're
That is a cool fact right there.
Yeah.
Teacher teaching me, you know how you have bones on the inside? Well, they have bones on the outside.
Exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Skeleton, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. What is mezcal? So, sorry, I'm a bit of a rookie. I'm a bourbon guy, but one of my sons that's a Walker, we talk about a little bit. He's like, Dad, we got to get into mezcal. We got to get into mezcal. Tell me about that a little bit, Doug, if you don't mind.
Well, mezcal's basically the origin of the agave spirits. Everything in Mexico was called mezcal.
Okay.
The Spanish, when they started taxing it, they called it the vino de mezcal, the wine of mezcal, of agave. And so that's the national drink. Tequila are the ambitious business people in the country, and they grow it, so they become immensely wealthy. And the mezcal's always been left behind in the dust and the parts of the country that they're not very good at business and they're very poor. It's never gone anywhere. And recently, when we started promoting it in making and promoting it in the 90s and the early 2000s, nobody had ever heard of it basically. And
Mezcal is a very smoky spirit.
Well,
Very smoky.
well,
Is that where they?
don't they when they're they do something to the roots when they farm it, when they're cultivating it, right? When they're, I mean, don't they? It's how it's cultivated. I mean, that's why it's smoky. Doug?
no, not necessarily. There's all kinds of flavors. When it's smoky, it's because your fire master is cooked in a pit, and the fire master is not very good. And their mezcals come out very smoky. The fire masters that know how to dominate the fire, they don't have any smoke in their flavors. So usually it's a younger guy that they'll be cooking it, and it'll come out smoky for
So
him.
you have a mezcal that's not smoky?
That's right. That's right.
Bob, can I get that?
When
I've gone to cooking with a steam generator in an autoclave, similar to what they do in tequila. And it doesn't have the smoky flavor. It's just
I gotta try that because I like smoky. I mean, Walker for sure knows that.
Knows
that.
Yeah, he gave me.
Yeah, it's a bit too smoky for me.
uh-huh.
So I would love to try some of this. Not.
Well,
Yeah, one of the
next
one
time
of
you're
the
at
things-
Matt's, you can
one of
try
the things
his. Okay, go ahead, Bob. Or is that Kirk?
I was gonna say, one of the things with the smoke is exactly what Doug was saying. So, if you're doing a charcoal grill yourself at home and you see all this smoke pouring out, you're not gonna put on that. It's the same thing with agave, and those agaves go in the typically. So if you put it on with tons of smoke covered up, you're just gonna get this really heavy barbecue ash, smoky flavor. And if you want to try a mezcal that does that, you can watch. You can go buy a Montelobos, and it's funny because when you drink that, you're like, God, this tastes like shit. Why? To me, it tastes like shit. It probably tastes okay in a cocktail because it gets that smoky character out, which is great. But for just straight up plain room temperature neat, I'm not a fan. And then one day I was watching distillery on a video put all the agave on a giant smoky pit. I'm like, there you go. That's exactly why. And then they covered up and it's super smoky flavor. For a while, they actually had on the back of their label, it was like flavor notes. It was like ash, soot, charcoal. And I'm like, what you really are looking for is that white heat coming off that roasts the agave versus smokes the agave. And then you get this mezcal is absolutely delicious. And Doug has two two ways of cooking. He's got a pressure cooker, and then he has a fire pit, which is unusual in downtown Oaxaca to have a fire pit in the city. I'm not sure how he did that, but nonetheless, he does. So these other mezcaleros that are outside in the country, the cook is super important. How much smoke how much wood do you put on? How much smoke do you let come off? How do you manage that? Is it going to rain? What kind of wood you use? How deep the pit is? Did you clean the pit beforehand? Because all that stood in there adds up, right? So there's all these things that you can do and learn about, hey, how should it be done? And then the result at the end when you taste it. And so you shouldn't, in my mind, you shouldn't be tasting smoke. There's some there, but I don't really get smoke anymore when I drink this.
It almost sounds like a lot of creosote is in it, then that's not really good. If you go back to wood burning.
It gets cleaned out, right? Like, and that's a shitty job. And so when they clean the time, then But if you go to a mezcalero's house or Palenque and you see not cleaned out, looks like shit, you know what you're gonna get.
Ground?
Oh, that's clean.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting.
Bob, there's one you're familiar with, Noble Coyote. To me, that's smoky.
People say it's smoky. I don't taste the smoke anymore.
I can
So
smell
it's
it.
not as bad as it's not as smoky as some others then.
Correct.
I definitely smell it, Bob, but I don't taste it the same way.
Is that the Noble Coyote you got?
It is. Yep. Randy, this is where we're coming full circle because my friend Randy.
What's it say? Coyote?
Noble Coyote.
Turn it some more.
Mezcal. Bottom. There we go. That's a little better
You
one.
know where I got that one, right?
Right, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Doug, do you ever use, and I'm not sure the difference, a Neo and the Mezcal?
Okay. Mezcal, like tequila, has three basic categories: silver,
Yeah.
right out of the still,
Mhm.
reposado, anywhere from. In mezcal, I think tequila is similar, and then añejo, anything that goes over the year is automatically añejo.
Okay.
And I also have a
Extra
reposado.
I'm sorry.
In tequila, they also have a reposado.
He said that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't hear.
2 to 12 months, right, Doug?
And mezcal, it's 2 to 12 months.
Yep.
I'm not sure what tequila is, but it's
Yep.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reposado is a very interesting category because that's where your moonshine, so to speak, turns into the aged spirit, the brown spirit.
Yeah.
It's a real interesting category, and when you track that, tasting that, and watching it go through that process is it's just wonderful. The way that develops, it's just barrel qualities with the silver one turning into brown one.
Okay.
And then there's also an extra añejo, which is beyond
Generally,
2 years.
3 years.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah,
That sounds
Doug actually has a 7, I believe it's a 7-year Araqueño. Is that right, Doug?
in the mezcals,
7-year Araqueño, correct?
yes, I have a
Yeah.
7-year-old Araqueño and a 7-year-old Tobola.
Yeah. It's phenomenal.
Wow.
Actually available with Juan Pablo in Chicago.
Okay.
Is
So-
that 20-year available anywhere?
Pardon me?
Is that 20-year available anywhere?
Those sort of things, I sell them by the barrel to aficionados or groups. And so I harvest that especially for them.
It'll say that 20 years got what, 3 bottles in it?
Yeah, probably. I'm afraid there's gonna be nothing in it, but
Yeah.
one of these days I'm gonna gulp and ask the verifiers to come and open it up for me.
Yeah.
The 20-year barrel is in a earthen cellar at the distillery.
So it's basically inert at this point as far as maturing anymore.
Oh,
Very, very slowly maturing because of the temperature in the earthen.
well, the angel share, is just massive, if that's what you mean. But,
Well, I figure at some point, if you put it down there, it's gonna slow the angel share down.
You're burying it, right?
So what's easier to sell, mezcal or whiskey?
well, right now, I believe that good mezcal is easier to sell. But what's really the easiest to sell is cheap, crappy mezcal. That's where all the volume is really in the industry.
Yeah.
People don't, in the US anyway, very few people know much about mezcal.
That's correct. There's very
So it
little.
makes it easy to sell crap.
Right. They don't know about tequila, so how are they going to know about mezcal?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jose Cuervo.
He was a friend of mine.
so
His friend.
so Doug.
Sorry.
So Roxy.
I know when they bring it over the States here, they remix it again, don't they, when it comes over the border?
So Roxy just came down. Say hi.
Hi.
So
Roxy?
so Doug is in Mexico.
Oh, awesome.
So you want to sip?
I can't on an empty stomach. I
Okay.
need to eat first. But I had some yesterday. I liked it.
There you go.
There you go.
And I'm way more critical than Jeff.
We've already talked about this.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Your taste buds aren't burned out yet.
But Bob was talking about.
I didn't want to like it. I didn't think I was going to like it. But then I was like,
I do like it.
I like it.
Doug does he distills it so that people like it.
And you do a great job. It's very drinkable. It's,
Yeah.
gives you some heat, but it's not too much.
Yeah.
And it's got a great story behind it.
Yeah, the great story. I mean, I got more like tropical notes.
So then we also found out that the mezcal that is up at Matt's is Doug's mezcal.
Oh.
With the scorpion.
With the scorpion?
Yep. And he said a while back he shipped up a bunch to Ohio.
Well, there's one at Matt's.
Yep.
Lyson?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. There you go. All right. So you're home.
Very good,
I
Doug.
can get in the camera.
Thank you,
for a
Bob. Thank you,
second,
Doug.
But don't.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Thank you, Doug. I really appreciate y'all staying on and coming on for the podcast and all the information
I was in the
you
trenches.
shared with us and all the listeners. Thanks again, guys.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sticking in with us.
Hey, Doug, you ever get down to the Bisbee?
Where?
The Bisbee? Cabo?
Cabo?
Black and blue.
No.
Want to go? Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, you
I
guys.
will have a pour as soon as I get some food in me.
Okay.
Bob, I may see you this weekend.
Good night, Roxy.
Available, I don't know yet.
I'll be around.
I've got the moving truck coming Friday.
Sounds good.
I just gotta figure out if my wife's gonna let me detour or not.
Perfect.
Hey, thanks again, guys. I appreciate all y'all, and I'm gonna be cutting now.
All right.
Bye,
Awesome.
Bye.
You guys.
And Bob, my parents live in Boynton Beach, so I go through the Jacksonville area once a year. So
Nice.
maybe we can meet up a couple times going forward in the future.
Well, let me know. Happy to meet up.
I'll come back.
All right, for sure.
I really want to thank you guys for joining us, taking our invitation.
Anytime. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Last on deals, Doug.
And I put the word out to JBWS and Gainesville Whiskey Society and North Tampa Bible Club. So we probably had some folks from there watching, Bob.
Perfect. I got some inventory to sell. So
Yes, sir.
awesome.
Good
night, guys.
Cool.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
You're right to stay on or head on out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hit it. It's late,
Yep.
so I'll
Yeah.
be up early.
I made the mistake the other night. Walker and Kirk are both in Pacific time, I think. And so it's like 1:30 or 2 in the morning. I gotta get up at 6 and they're just chatting. I'm like, guys, I passed out.
He was sleeping.
I woke up and said goodnight.
He was talking in his sleep.
I probably was, no doubt.
I love it. You guys are awesome. Have a good week, guys, and look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Thanks a lot, Doug. I appreciate you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome. Catch you guys later.
Okay.
Catch you later.
Bye, Doug.
See ya.
All right. Good night.
Right.
Good night, folks.
Well, Walker, if it's just us three, I'd
Walker.
say I'll get the clothes out of laundry and Tiny can go have a pour with his wife.
Right. But
Yeah.
Walker and Facebook.
That's what I was just about to do. Good night, Facebook.
Yeah. I'm gonna end YouTube. That went well.
I think so.
I mean,
Glad you
Hit
like
the right button.
yeah. I loved it. Good job, Randy.
Thank you. I had one of my